Welcome, brave viewers, to the depths of the internet, where the light of day never reaches, and a labyrinth of dark secrets and unspeakable horrors awaits. This is the dark web, a realm where the twisted and depraved roam free, where innocent curiosity can transform into a nightmarish ordeal. In this chilling video, we'll delve into 3 true stories of individuals who dared to venture too far into these shadows and face the ultimate consequence. Their tales will make you question the very nature of the internet itself, the darkness that lurks hidden and menacing just a few clicks away. Our first story begins with an ordinary young man, a protagonist with an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Little does he know that his curiosity will lead him into the heart of the dark web, to a place where the sun doesn't shine, and digital shadows obscure the line between reality and nightmare. So brace yourself as we step into the abyss of the online underworld. Remember, curiosity isn't just a harmless trait here. It's a dangerous game, a dance with the devil. And the dance floor is slippery, the music terrifying. Are you ready to begin? Our first story takes us into the heart of the dark web, where a young man stumbles upon a black market auction. Meet our protagonist, an ordinary young man with an insatiable curiosity about the world. His thirst for knowledge takes a dark turn when he ventures into the uncharted territories of the dark web, a place where the sun doesn't shine and digital shadows obscure the line between reality and nightmare. One evening, while navigating through the labyrinthine corridors of the dark web, he stumbles upon a place that sends chills down his spine. It's a black market auction, a vile marketplace where the currency is anonymity and the goods are as illegal as they come. His screen fills with a cascade of items, each more unsettling than the last. Stolen identities sold to the highest bidder, weapons, their origins shrouded in secrecy, available to anyone with the means to pay. His heart races as he scrolls, each click pulling him deeper into the morass of the underworld auction. But as his horror grows, so does his intrigue. He is like a moth drawn to a flame, unable to resist the lurid glow of the forbidden. The auction, with its parade of illicit goods and anonymous bidders, beckons him further into its dark embrace. Despite the terror gnawing at his conscience, he continues his descent, each click a step further into the abyss. The auction becomes his obsession, a grotesque spectacle that both repulses and fascinates him. He's caught in the auction's web, ensnared by the allure of the unknown. His curiosity had led him to a place of nightmares, and things were about to get much, much worse. For in the dark web, curiosity isn't just a harmless trait. It's a dangerous game, a dance with the devil. And as our young man is about to learn, the dance floor is slippery, and the music is about to take a terrifying turn. The young man, now trapped in the web of the dark auction, becomes the target of a relentless bidder. As our story unfolds, the young man finds himself entangled in a shadowy exchange, his every move tracked by a faceless bidder. This anonymous pursuer appears to wield an uncanny knowledge about our protagonist, and with each passing moment, the stakes grow ever higher. The messages start innocently enough, a simple hello that belies the chilling intent behind it. Soon, they evolve into something far more sinister. The bidder seems to know things about the young man that he's never shared online. His favorite book, the name of his first pet, the color of the walls in his childhood bedroom. He's left reeling, a puppet dancing on the strings of a master puppeteer. In the pitch-black corners of this digital labyrinth, the young man fights to regain control. He tries to disconnect from the auction, to sever the ties that bind him to this terrifying encounter. But every attempt is met with resistance. The bidder, it seems, is not done playing his wicked game. The messages become more ominous, now laced with threats that make the young man's blood run cold. The bidder promises a fate worse than death if he attempts to leave, and our protagonist is left with a chilling realization. He's not just bidding on items, he's bidding on him. As the seconds slip into minutes, the young man's desperation grows. He's a mouse caught in a trap, the cat's claws just inches away. He's a victim of his own curiosity, a cautionary tale in a world where secrets are currency and privacy is a luxury few can afford. But as the scene draws to a close, we're left with a sobering thought. The dark web isn't just a place, it's a living entity, a beast that feeds on fear and thrives in the shadows. And once it has you in its sights, it's not likely to let go. But, as he would soon discover, once you're in the sights of the dark web, there's no easy escape. Our next tale introduces us to a woman who encounters a malevolent entity in the digital depths of the dark web. We'll call her Jane for the purpose of this story. Jane was no stranger to the internet's darker corners, but nothing could have prepared her for what she found that fateful night. Venturing deeper into the labyrinth of the dark web, Jane stumbled upon a seemingly deserted forum. Its empty threads and vacant chat rooms echoed the eerie silence of a ghost town. But soon, Jane realized she was not the only one present. An unseen presence made itself known, a digital phantom lurking in the shadows of the forum. At first, the entity was subtle, sending cryptic messages that appeared randomly on her screen. "Are you lost?" it asked, its text blinking ominously. Intrigued and a little unnerved, Jane responded, unknowingly inviting the phantom to reveal its true malevolent nature. The entity's behavior grew increasingly bizarre and threatening. It began posting personal information about Jane, details that she had never shared online. It taunted her, relishing in the fear it could sense through the screen. "You can't leave," it warned, its words chilling her to the bone. Desperate to escape, Jane tried to log out, to close the browser, to shut down her computer, but to no avail. She was trapped in this digital maze, her every attempt to flee met with the phantom's cruel laughter echoing through the silent forum. As the hours ticked by, Jane found herself the unwilling participant in a twisted game of cat and mouse. The phantom was relentless, its torment only intensifying as Jane's fear grew. She was caught in a web of terror, a prisoner in her own home. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, it stopped. The phantom disappeared, leaving Jane alone in the abandoned forum. She was finally able to log out, her screen going dark as she breathed a sigh of relief. But the phantom's parting words still echoed in her mind, a chilling reminder of the horror she had just endured. "I'll be waiting." She was trapped in a digital nightmare with a phantom that seemed to feed on her fear. In her desperate struggle to escape, the woman faces off against the digital phantom in a terrifying final encounter. This is not a battle of strength or speed, but one of sheer will and resilience against an adversary that exists solely in the dark crevices of the internet. The woman, panic-stricken, watches as her computer screen flickers, seemingly possessed by this digital phantom. As sweat trickles down her forehead, she can't shake off the feeling of being watched, hunted even, in her own sanctuary. Her heart pounds in her chest like a drum, amplifying the fear that has seeped into her very being. Her frantic attempts to disconnect, to sever this unholy bond with the phantom, are met with resistance. Each click is a plea for freedom, each turn of her modem a desperate prayer for salvation. But the phantom is relentless. It's as if it's feeding off her fear, growing stronger and more menacing with every passing second. The phantom's messages, once cryptic and eerie, now take an even more disturbing turn. They echo the deepest fears of her heart, the insecurities she has locked away in the darkest corners of her mind. It knows her, understands her, and it uses this knowledge to torment her, to break her. In the face of such psychological terror, the woman feels her resolve waning, but she cannot, will not, let this entity win. With a deep breath, she summons her courage, her determination, her defiance against this digital specter. She fights, not with weapons of steel, but with the strength of her spirit, the power of her resilience. Her final act of rebellion, a desperate system shutdown, is her only hope. As her screen finally goes black, she is left in the silence of her room, her breath shaky, her heart still racing. But there is a sense of victory, of survival. She has faced the phantom and lived to tell the tale. In the digital abyss of the dark web, she had met a terror beyond comprehension. After these chilling experiences, our protagonists are haunted by the echoes of their encounters on the dark web. The young man, once leading a normal life, now feels permanently altered. His dark auction experience weighs heavily on him, turning his peaceful nights into torment-filled ordeals. Each click and bid from that dark corner of the internet reverberates in his mind, a chilling reminder of the malevolent depths it hides. The paranoia is palpable. He feels constantly watched, as if those anonymous bidders have stepped out of the digital world and into his reality. His once secure digital fortifications now feel as fragile as paper, and he can't shake off the feeling of being under constant surveillance. The woman, on the other hand, deals with the digital phantom's presence that now haunts her once safe digital abode. It's as if the phantom has left the dark web and has taken residence in her digital life, making every shadow on her screen a cause for alarm. The fear of the unknown now seeps into her daily life, making the dark web a terrifying, palpable danger for her. Each online interaction feels tainted by its unseen presence. The dark web waits in the unseen corners of the internet, serving as a chilling reminder of the lurking darkness just a few clicks away.